Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today I thought, well, what I started doing is this is that Atari 800 XL that we borrowed the CPU from to get the 600 back up and running, and I thought I would see if I could find it a new CPU in amongst my IC stock. That's basically what you can see in front of you here. I've got out a quantity of my spares ICs. I do still have more up in storage in another location, but these are like the main ICs that I use for most of my vintage micro repairs. Unfortunately, so far I haven't actually found a suitable 6502 to stick in here, or as it's known as Sally IC for the Atari. But what I thought I'd do is I'd just show you like what I get, what I look out for these vintage computers, and when I see them going cheap or what people don't know what they've got, I tend to go in and then snap them up. The vast majority of my ICs here actually came from one lot about, it's got to be getting on for 10 years ago, and it was a guy that in the 80s had a computer repair shop up in Yorkshire way, and he was in his 70s, and he just stuck on eBay a load of equipment drawers, and it was a very, very poor picture, but it was just I think there was 8 large equipment drawers, and he wanted £50 for the lot. It didn't say anything about the contents, just that it had come from a closed down computer shop which had shut down in the mid-90s but had been going from the 80s. So I took a punt and I bought them all and drove up there, and I've still got a lot of cabinets from that I haven't even had a chance to go through yet. Mostly they've got RAM in them and other things like 74 series logic, resistors. Most of the actual expensive ICs I've got in front of me here, and other ones that I've collected from broken computers and things like that. And I thought I'd just, like I said, open some of these boxes and show you kind of what I've got. So these are the best boxes to keep anything like this in. These are proper anti-static boxes. You've got an anti-static plastic, and then inside they're lined with anti-static foam. Now this is a little bit overcrowded. I do need to go through some of these boxes. I am sorting them out as we speak, but we've got like our usual. We've got Z80 CPUs. I should really have my anti-static strap on for touching some of these, being some of them are quite valuable. But yeah, we've got I've got our Z80 CPUs. I've got some Zilog. Oh no, they're not actually. They're Zilog floppy drive controllers. There are some Zilog CPUs. Oh, they're not in this box. No, this box is mostly later Spectrum, I think. I think these are for like the later plus 2s. They're the ROMs for a later plus 2. There's plenty of ULAs in here. I do have quite a nice collection of Sinclair ULAs from ZX81 up until like the Spectrum Plus 2, the Grey Plus 2. I'm probably not going to run out for the foreseeable future of ULAs, but there are some other chips that I'm getting a little bit low on. But we've got some Franti ULAs there. That is a TMS 99 video controller. That's what's used on a lot of the MSX based computers. We've got 2 of them. They're a handy little spare. Got an AY 38912 sound chip. Got a bit of RAM down there. I've got chips of them brand new. I don't know how that's ended up stuck in that box. We've got another AY sound chip down there. Let's see what we've got in some of these other boxes. Here's my my ROM collection, or DRAM and ROMs. I think these are all like 27C256s. Most of these are pulled off old 2 and 2 and 386 motherboards and old graphics cards. To be honest, I've had these for a very long time. These are back from when I used to mess with computers in the late 80s and 90s. Mostly, you know, really in the 90s when I got in high school. Yeah, befriended basically the IT teacher, and I got quite a few of these off him, and my original EEPROM programmer come off him as well, and that 380Z I've shown in a previous video, I got that via him. But yeah, but we've got plenty of useful DRAM here. This is your standard 64K by 8 DRAM, different makes, if they're in a line like that, it means they're all compatible. So yeah, I've still got quite a nice chunk of DRAM in there. Let's see what else we've got we can have a quick look at. Oh, again, here's the box I had with, again, we've got some Z80s there. What's that RAM? That's, I've got a nice big EEPROM. Is that a 4 meg? Yeah, I think that's a 4 meg EEPROM. So that'll have been for, I'll have bought that for doing a Mega Drive game or something like that. I think it's a spare from a Mega Drive game that I burnt a copy of. Let's see what else we've got. I think this has got most of my Commodore, a lot of Commodore stuff in it. Yeah, it has. I'm right here. Oh, apart from, like I said, don't think I'll be running out of Z80 processors anytime soon. In fact, some of these are all new old stock. I think the SGS ones there, which I've got quite a few of, are all new old stock. A lot of the others are pulls, but these are, basically if you see them in these boxes like this, it means that I've actually tested them and verified that they're in working order. So yeah, they're all nicely tested Z80 CPUs, all would happily go in a Spectrum. What have we got there? Oh, that's a 6522. So that complements a 6502 in a system like a BBC or something like that. And then we have some, these are SIDs. We've got a few SIDs down there. We've got another SID there. These are there's some PLAs, so they're all Commodore 64 stuff. I think some of these ROMs are C64 ROMs, and I think some might even be VIC-20 ROMs. We've got the last of the TEDs that I've got, which are these up here. These are for what famously go faulty in the Commodore C16 and Plus 4. I think I'm down to my last, yeah, it looks like I'm down to my last 4. So they're getting scared. Oh no, I've got 5 because that's these two with heat sinks on out of one of my systems, which I was rebuilding, and I don't know why they ended up in here. But we've got another CPU and a TED there. So like I said, that's pretty much, when I've run out of these, I don't think I'll be repairing any more C16s and Plus 4s, because probably of 10 that I look at, 8 are either going to have a bad CPU or a bad TED chip. So like I said, we've got 4 left plus the one for my own Plus 4 when I finish building that back up. But other Commodore chips we don't seem to have much of a problem with. We've still got plenty of them. Let's see what else we've got in this box. Again, we've got ULAs. These are Spectrum ULAs. These are all good ones. I've got 2 bad ones there, but they're worth keeping because I know what the faults on them 2 are. I think one has a problem with some of the keyboard addressing, and I think one has, I think it's got an issue with one character or something like that, but they basically do still work. So what I use them for is if I'm testing a Spectrum and I'm still not 100% sure that everything's alright and I don't want to fry what I know is a good ULA, I can stick one of them in just to see if it'll power up with them, and then if it's alright, obviously I can put what is a good known ULA in there, which I do still have a few, as in I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I've got 7, and they're brand new old stock ULAs. They're actually dated 36 week 89. So like I said, you know they're a later ULA then. But we've got them. What else have we got? We've got some more SIDS. I've actually got more SIDS than I thought I had. What else have we got in here? Ah, yeah. These are 8520, which is the PLA chip in a C64. So we've got quite a few of these. Are again, they're a common failure point on the C64, so it's handy that we've got still got quite a few of them spare. Or is it a VIC 2? I know I've got some VIC 2s in here as well. Well, these will be the VIC 2s, I think. These are Commodore Amiga. Is it the Agnes? I think these are Agnes chips for Commodore Amiga. I've got a fair few of them spare. And then, yeah, we've got, I think a lot of these are like VIC 2 chips for the C64. I think some VIC chips on here as well. I think they might be VIC, the gold pinned ones. They're like original, was 82, 83 vintage Commodore MOS. In fact, are they VIC or are they VIC 2? I can't remember precisely. But what I generally do is I have a on the C64 wiki. There's a place on there with all the MOS technology part numbers. So Commodore, if it's got the MOS part number on it, basically all you have to do is look on the C64 wiki on the MOS Technologies page, and you can go down and match up the code and find exactly what the IC is. So we've got all them, and basically, like I said, they all came when I originally got them in just containers like this, and that's how they were. And they were all, everything was pretty much mixed up and jumbled up. We've got all sorts. I mean, these are ones that I've actually got out because I'm going to go through them, find out what I've got in here, and then once we've found out what we've got in here, we can test them in something, make sure they're alright, and actually get them into a position where we can actually just go to and grab the part that we need, rather than sorting through boxes and boxes and boxes like there. We've got that's another, I think that's a PLA 6510. So oops, that's the original. Put them in. The 65 is the 6510 the original the original copy of the 6800. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. I think it is. Or is that the 6501? Anyway, we've got some of them. Like I said, these are really stuff that I need to go through and actually find out what I've got. I've got 27C512 there. And most of these are probably okay. It's just they've been stored very bad. That's why some possibly don't work anymore. Like I said, we really need to go through all this and find out exactly what we've got here. What have we got here now? That's 4164 DRAM, so we need to find all that because that's handy for your Spectrums and stuff like that as replacement DRAM. We've got some of this Oki that actually might be, looking up that it's Oki 3764A. So I think these are Spectrum ICs, because I think these are basically half the RAM's dead. That's a Hyundai part. Oops. I think these are the ones where it's basically only 32K if it's any good. But we'll go through them and have a look. What I was looking through for here is to see where I've got anything that's suitable for that 16K to 64K upgrade. These are KM44C256s, but in the right package. Basically want the 64K version of that for the upgrade of that Atari, which I know I've got some. I do have some in another box somewhere. but it would be nice to go through all these loose chips really, and that's another of the Oki DRAM, and actually find out exactly what I've got, and then I can test them, and we can get rid of all the duffers and actually clear up. That's the 4164 TMS. So we can actually clear out any non-working chips, and then basically like I have already done here. That's what I've done to get like my DRAM here. I've gone through boxes like this already, and like I said, I pick it out to manufacturer, speed and part number, and then I stick them in rows. I test them and then stick them up, and then I've got a good range of DRAM I can go straight to, and I know it's going to work for what I want. Anyway, I'm probably going to leave it there now. I just thought I'd show you some of my spare parts. Like I said, I was very, very lucky getting all them custom ICs in one job lot as I did. I'll put these away. What I do need to do now is I need to sort these boxes out. So I've got a box with like Sinclair specific stuff in it, a box that's got Commodore specific stuff in it. I don't think I've got enough Atari stuff to have an Atari specific box, but if I can find enough Atari chips, I'll probably do something similar with that. But ideally I would like to get a lot more of these proper boxes like this, but they are quite expensive, these boxes. I bought them 3 second hand on eBay. I think I paid, they had some random components in them, I think there was some, I can't actually remember what they were. I think they were, well, when I looked into it, they were parts meant for pinball and fruit machines, like counter timers that were specifically using like pinball and fruit machines. But anyway, I paid like 10 quid for all 3 of these boxes, and I think most of the chips I either used, just sold on, or got rid of in some way because they were of no use to me. I actually bought them for the proper specific storage boxes. But if you can't go to that expense, like I said, this is really the next best thing. Is this is just some foam that I got hold of, which will push a chip in nicely, and I've wrapped it in an aluminium foil to make it conductive. And then I just stick my my ICs into the foam like that. And like I say, it's not ideal. Ideally, you want proper anti-static boxes like that. But at a pinch, at least it keeps them reasonably safe. And then boxes like this again are absolutely brilliant. This is one that I got off my girlfriend. It's one of her silk scarf boxes. It's a really good substantial box, and it's just right really for keeping your components in. So it's not as good as a proper anti-static box, but with a bit of foam in it, and like I said, we've got some anti-static foam in the bottom there. It's better than nothing. At least it stops the ICs getting damaged. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed that quick look through my IC collection. So we'll leave it there for now. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.